All right, here's my 10 gauge power wire that's going to power the fuse block. I've got the 5 individual feeds soldered in. We're going to tape that up. We'll drill a hole and run that and mount the fuse block. So we drilled a hole here in the... So got the wires taped up. I think we'll do something like that. Or maybe like that. Here I've got my 5 wires for the switches. Run. Gonna zip tie them at least part of the way across the firewall. So we may have to pull them through the firewall one at a time. Okay, so I got the wires happy on the other side, and then decided there's really not a whole lot more room there. To run wires. We maybe get 3-4 more. So I went to this other knockout over here, and I've got my wire run here to pull the wires through. There's the wire again. Drilled the holes. Sometimes just not thinking. How dumb is that? We're going to run them up the A-pillar on this side because I'm not stupid if I actually think things through. So what we'll have is all the power, the power going to the lights is on the driver's side. The power going to the switches will be on the passenger side for ease of remembering, because there are only so many colors of wire. That's another thing we can discuss, because I do have that one more white wire that is a feed. There was an extra white wire. We only used 7 in the 2 plugs. And one of those is going to be connected to the backup lights. So that's 6. Which, that, you know, hindsight being 2020, that one we could have run to the rear corner of the rack and come down. But that's another, well, it probably would have gone inside the hatch, so we wouldn't have had to really drill a hole. Somehow fish it through to the tail light. But that's not a big deal to run that to the back somewhere. We have the Haynes book, so we can figure out the backup light wire and see where we can splice into that without having to run all the way to the back. So, not enough colors of wire to keep things straight. They make this colored electrical tape. We have yellow, we have red, we have white, green, and blue. So what you do is, look, we have white wire. We will turn that into a white wire with a yellow stripe, or a white wire with a blue stripe, or whatever. And so we'll twist that around, not completely, you know, so it's candy cane. And then you do that at the other end, and then you can differentiate and then write all this crap down, you know, for reference when something goes wrong, because it will. Because you can always use a multimeter and find continuity between one end and the other, and you know, you can go to the switch and run a long lead back to your relay or whatever to know. But if they're multicolored, you know, don't. When I run the power for the switches, I'm running all red wire. Well, that's not true. I did in here. Those are all red, because it doesn't matter. It's one wire from the battery. That's your main power. And that's to the fuses. What's laying on the floor is going to be the power out. So those are going to connect to the fuse box and then to the relays, and then they're going to run up to the switches. So not sure how all this is, if I have enough spots in the fuse panel to power all the relays off of one, you know, so then we'll make another harness like we have here that'll have however many relays. I think I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 possibly, and power them all off of one lead. Then front, rear, side, the other 4 will be switches. That should work. That's where we're at. Now I'm going to pull my wires through. See, I've got my wire there. If you can see it through the glass, runs through there. I've twisted it. Twisted it around there. I'm going to put some electrical tape on it, and we're going to pull. Here's another little trick. Double stick tape. Put some double stick tape on the bottom of these. And I don't have the right size screws to go in those little holes, little self-tappers. The heads are too big, the ones I have. And rather than run to the store, I was thinking this morning, because the relay that I have for these spotlights, I just double stick taped to the firewall. And so I had it in my mind that we were going to use that. So rather than run to the store and buy $3 worth of screws that I probably will eventually need for something else, but to continue the flow of the project and not get bogged down and stuck, and that's, you know, a lot of piddly little steps. It's 4 hours I've been here, and I've made 2 wire harnesses and drilled some holes and cleaned up some wires, and if you're in a hurry, it's just going to go bad. You've got to have the time to think things through. Just take your time, and that'll help. So there, I've got those. In. Should have had that window down. Voila! Just like downtown. Pulled off way more wire than I was gonna need. That's okay. Better to have too much. So we'll cut that like there. We had 3 more wires to run. So we tape them to a wire that's already run so we can pull them through. All right. These are our power from the relay to the switch. This is power to the switches. This is ground from the switches. This white with the red is the extra wire that we have for an extra switch. These over here are the wires to our lights. This is the wire for the backup lights. One set of lights in the back is going to come on with the backup lights. We're going to tap that in to this wire. Also, this wire is going to tap into the relay, the extra terminal on the relay for the backup lights. So when you put the truck in reverse, one set of lights will come on. When you flip the switch, both sets of lights will come on. I have all this wire pulled through the dash here. Now we can run it up the A-pillar, under the headliner, and start connecting stuff up. Here's my ground for the relays. I ran out of solder. I have to go get some more, solder the back side of that. Here's our rear mounting bracket. I'm going to put that on next. We had some, because really hard to get the holes to line up with the expanded metal through the, they're not, it's not like you measure them out and go, yeah, this one goes here. We just over drilled the holes, and then the U-bolt plate will go over that. But when I laid it down, I wrote down the orientation. This was driver's side up when we painted, and then we turned it over to paint the backside. So now this is driver's side down. So when it goes on, we will flip this and it should line up. I'm going to turn this off so you don't hear me cussing and swearing when it doesn't. You got the other roof mount dialed in. Wiped it off with some acetone, waiting for it to dry so we can paint it. And then it's lunchtime. It's actually way past lunchtime.